Hello everybody and welcome back to Merm's Minecraft at night. We're out here in the create mod world. I got some big plans for you today. I'm over here on the dock area. So I don't know, I feel like I haven't really been down here in the actual episodes as much. I think it's a neat little part of our world. But anyways, I got some exciting plans for you today. Basically, we're gonna add another building to our area here. And this is gonna be the last of what I consider to be like the main buildings, I guess, and you'll kind of understand what I mean eventually, hopefully. But this I'm going to call our town hall. I don't really know why it's that exactly. That's just kind of what the idea I had in mind when I was making it, or at least when I was planning it out. So this is actually going to hold some like basically random gizmos and gadgets is the plan. Random little machines, random little like two-part things, because you know we got our workshop up here where we got all the main components. You know, we have our presser, deployer, and all this stuff, and it's all one by one. But like there's certain things, like for example, I know one I want to do is I want to make a mud machine, and mud, you got to like pump water into this, and then I want to like automate it to have the dirt and stuff. So just small little things like that, and that's what's going to go in our town hall. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into that build. So yeah, let's get into the build montage. Enjoy. Alright, and that is going to be it for the town hall build, and I'm going to give you a little tour about what I did, what I got going on here. Should mention really quick also that the detail work on this is not fully done. I do have some other plans and things I want to do with this, and I'll kind of point those out as I go along here, but there's just some things I want to do first. So right out here is in front, the please subscribe sign here. This is actually going to be something else, but I will kind of reveal that later on. That's just a placeholder, don't worry, I'm not that much of a shill. But one of the things I wanted with this was I wanted an easy walkthrough. I don't want to have to go like and go around. So I really wanted from the very beginning to make this a little horse tunnel, and that's what we got going on here. You can just go right through. Inside here, there's room for two tiny rooms. I haven't done the interior on them yet, obviously. On the other side is essentially the same thing copied. I got another sign hanging. I didn't put any text on it, so that's pretty sad, but let me show you about the rest of this building. So this, I actually want to make into a custom tree. That's a future thing I want to do, because I have a unique plan for this, but I just kind of put a stump there, just to kind of signify it. Little storage area over here, not for actual storage, just decoration. Storage in the lore, if you will. And then we go around the side here. And that will lead us up to our main work area, where I'm going to be putting in some things later in this episode. And on the other side, I got the exact same thing. I'd also like to highlight But I connected up a bunch of the roads in this area, so we now have roads going this way. I cut through the flower area a little bit and kind of thickened it up, because I figured, you ever heard of desire paths? This is exactly what I was thinking about here. It's like, if I'm walking out, I don't want to go over here, and all the way around to get up here. So I knew like a lot of the time I would end up just going through here anyway. So I just put a path there, because why not? Anyways, you can see me on over by that campfire area in the top right, but I just want to give a little aerial view. I love looking at this. I look at this all the time. I love seeing the paths connect up. Paths, bridges, roads, and that kind of thing is something I think goes a very long way into making the world feel alive. I definitely am a big believer in putting them pretty much everywhere. Now you may find yourself thinking, dear Smart, my favorite YouTuber in all of the world, how the heck do we get up there? There's no ladder, no stairs on the inside that you showed. What's going on with these strange trapdoors? Well, I talked a little bit when I did the Gothic build about adding some motion into builds, and that's something I want to do here. And actually in the windmill, because I missed something last episode, but we'll get to that later. I want to add some motion to this build, and let me show you what I want to do. Through the create mod, we got this guy, the sticky mechanical piston, and of course there is a normal mechanical piston, but I'm going to be using the sticky one to show this off. This is really cool. It is basically one of Minecraft's first mods that I ever remember is longer pistons, and that's exactly what you get with these guys. It's pistons that you can kind of control the length of. And so it's all done through these piston extension poles, which are pretty cheap. Now the length of your poles actually corresponds directly with how long this is going to go. And so we put a block in front of this, slap it with a hand crank, you can see it moved that one block. And then if we, oh yeah, and it runs off of rotation. This isn't redstone, this runs off of rotation. And so yeah, if I use the crank this way, and if I shift, the crank will turn the other way, and it brings it back in. Now I'm going to extend this by, let's say 2. Now our piston will go 1, 2, 3 blocks out. I'll retract that back. And alongside that, one of the coolest parts is you can use glue, just like I did up with the windmill. You can transform this into one like entity. You can see it's connected together. And just like that, it's kind of like having slime blocks in a normal piston setup. The glue keeps it all together. Maybe you can see where I'm going with this. So here in our town hall, I created a little cubby area, the guts, if you will, as I've called it before. And this is right below our path outside, actually. So if I go on a free cam here and go straight up, that's our path out on the side here. You can tell because it's coarse dirt. I know it's a little weird because I'm surrounded by dirt on all sides, but yeah. Now I actually want to add just a little bit of decoration on this. I'm going to do that so it's going to look nice when we put it up. Now I counted it out, it's going to be 6 piston extension pipes. So we need to put our sticky piston there. We need to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my engineer's goggles, boom, engineer's goggles tells me pull length of 6. This will go up 6 blocks, which I counted on the outside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Will take us right up to the top here so we can access our next level. Now I'm going to prove it to you. First of all, we need to glue up those 6 blocks together. And I can use a hand crank, and now I'll crank that all the way up. And that brings it right up. And we're going to set this guy up with some familiar friends and some new friends, or one new friend really in the create mod. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I just got a basic water wheel set up here, rotation speed controller that we've used before, and I'm actually gonna double that. It doesn't need to be super fast, but you know, it's easier to use these things. Anyways, our new friend is going to be the sequence gear shift, and that's what's gonna make this work. So if you're wondering, first it runs on rotation. So if I were to put this in right now, and with it turning, what is that, clockwise? Yeah, it's not gonna do anything. Going off of fully rotation. So I need something else to make it work with redstone, and that's going to be the sequenced gear shift. So here's what's going to happen. Up above there, we're going to have some pressure plates right here. They're not installed yet, but they're going to go there. And those are going to be how we trigger this thing. You can program this guy basically to do a bunch of things. You can program it to turn certain ways, and there's a couple options here. So I actually know the way we want to program this already, because what's going to happen is on our first tick, we want it to go up. And then the next time it gets pulsed, we want it to go down. And so the way I found that to work is we turn it to move the piston. We want to move it 6 meters, as you know, we showed off before, 6 blocks, right? Now actually something interesting is that we are, since we're moving clockwise and we're moving the direction that it doesn't move, we want to make it reversed. We're going to go double speed reversed. Double speed just because it makes it faster, you know, it's an option, why not? No real reason for that. And then we're going to await a new redstone pulse. because otherwise every time we pulse it, it just keep trying to move the piston up, and that's not what we want. So we want on our next time that we receive a redstone pulse, we want to move the piston again, another 6 meters forwards. And so how this is going to work is, let's imagine our pressure plate is triggered, and you can see it moves up our 6 blocks. And the next time you use a button, it comes back down, and it'll just be on that loop forever and ever, up and down. So on the outside here, I'm going to place our pressure plates too, but whatever. Put those down. And then I'm just going to use the same block that's underneath. I don't know, it looks a little bit goofy, but you know, somewhat hidden by using the same blocks that are underneath. Now I'm going to just run a redstone wire over to our gear shift. And now with the redstone wire installed, I'll free cam and show you it here, right? Just right on over the gear shift, pretty simple. I walk up here and it takes me up. Now, of course, this doesn't take me down. As of right now, I'd have to go whoop and hit the pressure plate again for it to go down. But we can go up just fine. The create mod will make this very easy. We're going to go ahead and use the redstone links that we showed off way back on the Blaze Farm episode. They were used there. Put that down there. Now, I believe that is in receive mode right now. So we hit it with the wrench. Yep, and that'll give it to broadcast. Grab our coarse dirt and our cobblestone here, and our code is going to be just that, coarse dirt and cobblestone. All right, and with a little bit of finagling, I got it to work. As you can see, it goes up and down. Now, so I actually had it wrong. When it has the little ring around it, that's in receive mode. Real life, that's how that works. And then I had to put this on the underside of the block. I had it on the side, and that was preventing it from moving since it was attached to that block, so I put it underneath. And then down below here, I'll just put another redstone link, the same code, and receiver. Now, it kind of moves a little too fast. I almost think I need to slow it down. All right, I've gone and made a couple changes to this. First of all, I made it slower, as I was talking about. I also got rid of the pressure plates, and we're now button operated. And I'm okay with these redstone links being on the outside. I like a little bit of showing the inner workings of things. I think a little bit of, you know, not everything needs to be symmetrical and perfect. So I got these out, sitting out here on the outside. Nice job breaking my dang foliage. Anyways, so yeah, we're button operated now. And below, I just, boom, I removed the redstone wire running over here and just installed a redstone link right on there with our command. This will actually be cool for when we do this on the other side, and I'll tell you why. But now I just walk up here, hit the button, and we're up. And then go over here, button, oop. Well, if I didn't get stuck on the trapdoors, you get the idea. It'll go down much smoother this way. The problem with the pressure plates was that when I would come down, I'd get down and then I hit the pressure plate and then it'd just go back up. And it would happen on the other side too. So the pressure plates didn't quite work out. So yeah, I thought button operated would be better. And now, if I can find it, we got our own tiny little piston elevator here. All right, and so I went on the other side and I replicated the exact same setup. Piston, it's literally the exact same. I did even like the water wheel placement and everything, all the exact same. So now I got this on the other side. And I remember what I was saying earlier about how making it button operated would actually be cool for us. Well, I put these on the same frequency on the other side, and so what's going to happen actually when I hit this button, what happened on the other side? It came up. And so I hit this button and it free came over to the other side. They both move. Oh, I didn't quite make it, but they both move together. And so that's pretty cool, because if I want to come up on this side, do whatever I'm going to do up in this area once we fill it out, and I want to come down on this side, it's all right there. So now that we have a way up here onto the top layer, I actually want to start filling it out with our little gadgets and gizmos that are going to go up here. And the first one of those ideas that I have is I actually have used in this area. On there you can see it, and also on the fan house, if I can maybe get a view of it. Oh, I'll just go to free cam over here. The mud. Mud is a little annoying to get because you can use the water bottle method, which takes forever. You can make like a vanilla farm for it, which obviously I don't want to do because we're using the create mod. How I've been doing it is using the mixer. You fill it up with some water and some dirt. This is annoying because I have to take buckets of water, dump them in to the mixer, and then put my dirt in. It's really annoying. I'm going to get a better setup up here so I can make mud much more easily, so I can just throw some dirt in, come out with some mud, and have a good time. I got a basic power setup going on here, just a couple water wheels behind the area here, and you know, my favorite little trick, little hidden doors and trap doors to get in there. I believe this is what we're going to need to do this, a mechanical pump and these fluid pipes. If you've ever played modded Minecraft in general before, you're probably not too unfamiliar with the idea of pipes in automation projects, but these fluid pipes, I believe I should be able to just connect right up to the cauldron. Or now, I believe, if what I understand correctly, is if I power this guy, then it will pump water into the basin. I just got to figure out a way that I can power this and that at the same time. Okay, that was actually super simple. I just had to put 2 cogs down there and 3 up here, since both are going like vertical direction. So this is powered. I took out the pump because otherwise it was going to spread water everywhere in here. So I'll put the pump back in, let it go back into a source block, and now I believe this should be filling up with water. Perfect. All right, so I got all I need. I'm going to just set this guy up so I can just throw some dirt in there and be able to get mud on the other end. I'm just going to use a simple hopper setup. That's all I got in my inventory right now. So I'm just going to put a hopper on there. And I'm using the limited barrels because why not? We're only using 1 item in there. And then this is a little janky, but I'm just going to let it be. I'm just going to use a hopper on the bottom. And I'll have this barrel facing up. I don't know. I don't really care. It's fine. Yeah, I'm feeling lazy. Okay. So this should be all we need, actually. I should be able to just throw dirt in there. And it's coming right out. Okay. I did some looking into this in creative mode, and I did end up deciding to just throw a mechanical belt in here. It really wasn't that hard to install. If I go into free game here, I'll just put a couple of gear shifts over here to get our rotation going the right way, and then I had to put in a gear shift. These are gearboxes. That is a gear shift. And then that is what changes the rotation, so gotta go in the right way. And then this guy, the basin actually has its own little output thingy mechanic going on, and then I just put a funnel on the other side right into a barrel. Pretty simple stuff. I believe this should work now. I did test with 16 earlier, but yep, it's throwing our dirt right in there, and it's pumping out mud, which is not going into the barrel because this is getting powered by the redstone torch. Okay, I just took the redstone torch and I moved it so it's in that corner over there. And now we are getting no water. This is just really great figuring this out. Why are we getting no water now? Oh, because I blocked the... This isn't an infinite source anymore, is it? Okay, the answer was right in front of me all along, actually. So from what I can tell, so the mixer, it doesn't matter what rotation this is going, it just needs to spin. And I believe it's the same for the mechanical pump. And actually, since we're using a rotation speed controller, here's what I can do. You'll notice this is going the wrong way. So this is rotating, what is that? Counterclockwise. And we need these to be rotating the other way. So if I were to put these chain drives in, this will allow me to make this into a water source, which will fix our water problem, but this is going the wrong way. I mean, this is really simple. I can just go in the speed controller. Gonna break that. And this actually allows you to also change the direction. So I just go from down, up, and now we're going the other direction. Let's throw some dirt in. Now, hopefully for real, we have no issues. I forgot to put the funnel back on. We already know that works. And it looks like we are getting a steady stream of mud here. Perfect. This makes my life a lot easier. I love using mud in builds. It's one of my favorite blocks, so glad to have an easy way to produce that in the world now. So it's time to move on to the next little gizmo we're going to add in here, and that is actually going to be for the precision mechanism that I've been showing off a couple of times. These are used to make the rotation speed controller and a couple other things that I haven't really used yet. But these will definitely be something I want to make easily, and it has this weird crafting recipe where you got to apply with a deployer like 5 times. Yeah, it's a little annoying to do. So having a little automated machine for it is going to be really helpful. And so I'm actually going to put that down in one of these. I think this one I'm going to put it in. Obviously I'm going to pretty this up. I did not do the interior here. And then it's going to go along the wall here, and I'll show you my design that I made for it. I actually made it myself, as I've been doing, because Create Mod makes that fun. I've gone ahead and put the precision mechanism machine into our world here, and let me just show you a little bit about how it works and what it looks like. prettied up this room a little bit. And yeah, here it is. So here's basically how this is gonna look. I'm gonna take this gold ingot and I'm gonna put it in here. On the very corner there is a press that's gonna turn it into a sheet. I'm gonna go on here where we got small cog, large cog, iron nugget. I'm gonna go boom, boom, boom. It's gonna hit here, and here I have a filter. We can take that off for a second. That denies an incomplete precision mechanism. So only finished products are going here. And if you remember, this also has a chance, 20% chance to fail. And so that's why this is a normal barrel, because there's gonna be some random junk that's gonna come into. I thought I might as well collect that. And I have this down here taking the incomplete mechanisms off of this belt, bringing them back over to the side, and then I have a fan connected to 2 chutes there that brings it right back up to the chain. So I'm going to start with just one, just to show you what's going on here. And I got barrels up top with hopper upgrades in them, which allow it to like act like a hopper, so I don't have to put a chute or nothing there. I just put them in and it goes right in, and you can see 5, 5, and 5 down there in the info. So I'm just gonna throw one in and it gets pressed, sent back, and it just goes in this loop. And this is much nicer than doing it manually where I had to click, 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 click. And we got a clock. I didn't even know that was part of the junk pool, but all right, so we got a clock out of that one. But that's just one of those like random salvages. So we did hit the 20% to fail. So now I'm gonna do 6 at a time. Now I actually did have one little quirk. So obviously I am no master of the create mod, okay? when I was designing this, it can get backed up. And it actually has to do with the number of belts I have here. So this can actually only do 9 at once, because otherwise it'll get backed up. And you notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the exact amount of belts I have here, and they all keep 1 item on it. And so that's why that limitation is there, that I can only do 9 at once. But to be honest, with the things that precision mechanisms are used for, I'll probably only do like a few at a time. 1, probably the majority of the time, because really all I use it for is this guy here, the rotation speed controller. It is used for a couple other things. But hey, if I need a better setup later on, then I get a better setup later on. But I designed this one. So anyways, I'm gonna throw these in here. I'm gonna throw my 6 golden ingots in there, and we can just watch it go here. Dang, a bunch of them failed, it looked like. I only got 2? I put 7 in there and it failed 4 of them? 5 of them? That's crazy. That's a 20% chance. I just got so unlucky. Well, whatever, it works, and that's how it works, and I can put 9 in there at once. And so there we go with our precision mechanism setup. Alright guys, that's actually going to be it for today's episode of Merms Minecraft. Before I go, you may remember, I made that promise to you about the windmill door. I did make one other promise this episode, didn't I? You remember what it is? You may recall the please subscribe sign over here that I said was a placeholder for something else. Well, let me tell you, this area is coming along really nicely. I'm pretty proud of the work I did here, but it may be coming to an end. Just this area, of course, not the series. Don't worry. It's not dying. I do like this world a lot, but our world's coming along quite nicely here, and this area is starting to really take shape, and we've actually filled out all of this kind of valley. I mean, you can see where the land kind of raises up along this little mountain here, the hill, and this whole little valley I've filled in completely now. I just got a little bit more room left here, and I just want to put in one last thing. If you know about Create Mod, you might know where this is going. The next building in our area will be our way out. The train station.